One of the principal attractions of being in Mystery Island is that it reunites me with Kyle MacLachlan. Not, as some might think, who only go to the movies after 22 years since Dune. But in fact, Kyle and I did a play together on Broadway. We were doing it. We were about to open on Broadway exactly this time, last year, this time that we're talking, anyway. And we worked on Harold Pinter's The Caretaker together for 5 months, which was a just thrilling experience. Kyle was wonderful in that. And but prior to that, we came together on David Lynch's Dune in Mexico City. Another phenomenal location, another amazing city to shoot in, like being here in Thailand. Kyle and I became quite unlikely good friends, though we both had a background in classical theatre and have remained very close over the decades, and therefore it's always a special attraction for a project if you have someone you're that fond of working alongside you. So that's been a great appeal, and Kyle is wonderful casting for this role. The role might have been created for him. He's physical and dashing and thoughtful and kind of reasonably good looking in a rather sort of northwestern way. And I can only imagine that he's going to be perfect in this role. And of course we have a clash of wills because I want something from him, which is his engineering experience in order to complete a project that when I say I mean Captain Nemo has. And he's reluctant to join me in this, so that's the root of the conflict between the two characters. So my primary dialogue scenes are with Kyle. Yes, let me explain what out here is. By that I actually mean Thailand, as opposed to sitting by the Thames in London. And that was a significant attraction of this for me. I'd never visited Southeast Asia before. 45 years ago I changed planes in Bangkok once. That was as near as I ever got to being here. And I love traveling and I love visiting new places. And there's always an appeal in working in a place as opposed to just being a tourist. You know, you can get a different perspective on a country and a people when you're there to do a job of work. You know, our crew is largely Thai, and in working closely with people, you obviously get to know them better than you would if you were just a visitor. And the country is magnificent. I've been lucky enough to actually do a little bit of traveling in my days off, and I'm overwhelmed with the beauty of this country, and as of course a location for movie making, as you can see from where we are now. Usually when sets like this appear in movies, that's just what they are. They are sets. I've sat in so many sets that look just like this, but here where we are, we've got the actual location, which is brilliant from Russell's point of view in what he can do with a location like this. I'd read Jules Verne as a teenager, as a precocious teenager, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, not this novel. And I do remember seeing the movie with James Mason. In fact, I think all that I remember about the movie was James Mason wearing a red velvet smoking jacket. But there is a connection there because James Mason and I come from the same northern town in England, Huddersfield. We were both, well, I was born just outside, he was born there. And so I feel that there is an appropriateness about my playing Nemo here in this movie. Nemo is I don't like saying too much about the characters because I feel that it has to be there in performance on the screen. But he's an interesting character. He's very conflicted, very intense about his work, and yet there is a humanist streak in him which counterbalances the anger and rage that he feels at a lot of society. And that's always interesting to play, and those are elements that come out in my scenes with Kyle MacLachlan particularly. Other than that, I wish this thing were real and I could take it out in the ocean for a spin around. That would provide me with a lot of fun, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to leave this lagoon.